Thanksgiving is one of my most favorite holidays of the year. It's a wonderful time in the fall when nature is so abundant with fruits and vegetables, and it's also time to count our blessings. It's a time to be grateful for everything we have experienced that year. It's a wonderful time to connect with the earth and Mother Nature. Today we're going to make 4 simple recipes that you can add to your Thanksgiving table. Pumpkin is one of those golden gifts of the fall, and it's always found at the Thanksgiving table, most of the time in the form of sweet pumpkin pie. But today we're going to make a savory pumpkin tart variation. It's not going to be sweet, it's going to be a little bit salty and cheesy and oniony. Pumpkin is so nutritious, it's packed with vitamin A, but it's also full of vitamin C, so it provides really good protection for the beginning, for the fall time and the beginning of winter to protect your health. All right, so let's get started. First, we're going to make the shell. And today I'm going to make a bunch of small tarts because my big tart shell is occupied right now with a dessert. I'm going to make these in these miniature molds that I got as a present from a friend of mine. These are awesome. And we're going to press our tart shells in here and fill it with the pumpkin fillings. For this savory crust, I'm using both whole nuts as well as almonds or oats ground into flour consistency. To make the crust, place into the food processor cashews, water, fresh olive oil, and process together to form the dough. Check the dough with your fingers. It should be sticky and easy to form. Now I'm going to add some fragrant fresh herbs. I'm using thyme and rosemary today. You can slide the leaves off the stems right into the batter. I'm adding Himalayan pink salt, a few teaspoonfuls of nutritional yeast flakes, and also a touch of honey. Sprinkle some dehydrated onion flakes and process everything together. Now to this mixture, I'm adding psyllium husk. It will bind everything together and make the dough flexible and add plenty of fiber to the recipe. I saved some ground oats and almonds to use as flour and help me shape the dough. You want to add small amounts of flour at a time with your hands to mix into the dough. Your dough should be moist but also easily pliable and formed with your hands. Now press the dough into the tart shells with your fingers and take your time. Remember to enjoy each step of the process. We're going to need some freshly squeezed lemon juice, so I get to use my favorite citrus juicer. This was a present from another friend. I am so grateful for the friendships in my life and love to feel the presence of my friends in my home when I use their gifts. There are so many different kinds of pumpkin varieties, and you can use any variety you prefer in this recipe. I'm using heirloom pumpkin that has green patterns on the outside and bright orange flesh on the inside. I love the rich golden color of its flesh. Did you know that pumpkin can strengthen your immune system and help fight infections? Cut the pumpkin into smaller pieces and drop them into blender. Add some water, fresh lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, nutritional yeast, some salt, honey, dehydrated onion flakes, coconut oil, and cashews. For added immunity protection, I'm going to add a few cloves of garlic. Now blend everything together until you have a custard-like consistency. You guys can see that I love making food without precise recipe quantities. I love being really present and kind of feeling out how much of each ingredient to add. And of course, creating food in this way is really fun and creative as well, but also you have got to taste it because you're not sure exactly how it's going to come out. So I'm going to give it a taste. Wow, that's pretty amazing. It's like bursting with all the flavors because the apple cider vinegar and lemon juice is giving it its zestiness, and then there's like a little bit of garlic and salt, and the richness of coconut oil and pumpkin is delicious. Pour the pumpkin mixture into your tart shells, filling them to the brim. The artistry of finishing the food and making it look beautiful like art is part of work in the kitchen. When a dish looks like a work of art, it invites us to take in its beauty first and to be more conscious when we eat it. Alright, now that you're done with these, pop them into the refrigerator or the freezer, depending when you're going to use them. If you're going to use them right away, just put them in the refrigerator. Our next recipe is persimmon pie. Persimmons are these golden, yummy, sweet fruits that are also seasonal in the fall, and they will make a fantastic contribution to your Thanksgiving dinner table. And today we're going to use in this recipe a young coconut. You can find these in many ethnic groceries, but you can also find them right now at Whole Foods, at Sprouts. I have another video on the coconut devoted only to coconut. It's one of my most favorite ingredients. But today I'm just going to show you how I open it. And if you don't have a young coconut, you can also substitute in this recipe some cashews. I am using my Coco Jack opening tools that are easy to find on Amazon for about $20. All you need to do is position the round sharp tool over the peak of the coconut and give it a few strong hits with a mallet. Anchor the long handle and voila, the coconut is open. Inside of it is super hydrating and delicious coconut water. I usually pour it out into another jar and save it to be used in other recipes or drinks. Then I scoop out the soft coconut flesh from inside the shell. Make sure you remove any of the hard pieces that may have accidentally gotten inside. Coconut flesh is really a miraculous food. It's full of hydration, but also good fats as well as manganese and fiber. And it will create a fluffy, luxurious texture for this recipe. I'm using small spring forms to shape the persimmon pies. To make the crust, add to the food processor walnuts and dried coconut flakes. Add a spoonful of coconut butter and a little bit of salt and honey. Ground herbs will bring out the seasonal flavors of this pie. I am adding heaping spoonfuls of cinnamon and nutmeg. Process everything together to form the dough. After tasting it, I decided to add a little bit of lemon juice to balance out the sweetness. Using my hands, I press the dough into the spring forms tightly. I'm using some extra dough to build up the sides and create a kind of basket to be filled with creamy persimmon filling. I'm using Fuyu persimmons today. These delicious sweet fruits are full of vitamin C and antioxidants. For centuries, persimmon fruits have been used in Eastern medicine to treat so many conditions. Persimmons are full of beneficial nutrients that will protect your eyes and will nourish your brain. Cut the fruits into pieces and place inside the blender with the fresh coconut meat, a little bit of salt, honey, coconut oil, and vanilla. Now blend everything together until the ingredients transform into a smooth cream. Now pour the filling into the crust shells. I love how the color of these is such a luminous sunset orange, and the fresh coconut makes the filling taste fluffy like clouds. I think I'm going to sprinkle some coconut flakes on top, like tiny little stars starting to shimmer in the sunset sky. The next recipe is super simple marinated mushrooms. Very easy. We're going to prepare a marinade starting with fresh cold-pressed olive oil and balsamic vinegar. The oil and vinegar will absorb the flavors of the other ingredients. Add lots of fresh chopped garlic. Garlic is a natural antibiotic. I think of garlic pieces as tiny bodyguards. Garlic cleans the blood, protects our cells from disease, and it adds such bright flavor to marinade. I'm also going to add finely diced red onion. You can use any onion variety, but the red onion is so beautiful with its contrasting colors. Onions are beneficial for our cells. Of course, cutting onion always brings tears in my eyes. I love using lots of fresh herbs as they make the dishes fragrant and healing. Today, I'm adding rosemary and thyme to the marinade. And instead of salt, I'm going to add some fresh tamari. I'm using today miso tamari from my favorite miso company, South River Miso. It's in Massachusetts and their miso is amazing, and I love the taste of their tamari. Mix everything together and let the flavors mingle and marinate while you cut the mushrooms. Mushrooms are special gifts of the late summer and early fall. You can use any variety of mushrooms. A mix of oyster and portobello mushrooms would work great. Today, I am using crimini and baby bella mushrooms. Thinly slice the mushrooms and coat them with the marinade. So this was a very simple marinade, not a simple marinade, but this was just a marinade that you allow the mushrooms to soften this way. But if you want something a little bit creamier and richer, we're going to make a creamy mushroom sauce. You can either marinate the mushrooms in the sauce, or you can also use it as a gravy. You can pour it over other vegetables or other dishes. We will start with a few mushrooms, add some cashews, add a few mustard seeds, and garlic cloves to add zestiness, some fresh lemon juice and apple cider vinegar to add acidity, a little bit of Himalayan salt to bring out the flavors, add some nutritional yeast flakes, and water. Blend everything to create a smooth, creamy consistency. I improvised on the sauce and wasn't impressed with its color, so I'm going to add the golden touch by adding some fresh turmeric powder and giving it another blend. Much better, creamy and rich mushroom dressing or gravy. Spread marinated mushrooms on a dehydrator sheet and let them dehydrate for a couple of hours. Every Thanksgiving table needs cranberry sauce. Cranberries are my favorite ingredients of the season. Today, I'm adding lots of orange zest and the flesh of fresh oranges to cranberries to balance their sour taste. Oranges are great for your heart. They boost your immune system and metabolism and improve blood circulation. Did you know that the color orange is named after the orange fruit? The word orange comes from the Sanskrit word for orange tree, naranja. Before oranges made its way from China to Europe, yellow red was called simply that, yellow red. To the blender, add oranges, apples, cranberries, orange zest, salt, honey, and cinnamon. Adding a little bit of lemon juice will preserve color and taste much longer. Now blend everything together to make a smooth consistency. For a variation, I decided to take part of the cranberry sauce and make a thicker and spicier sauce. I'm adding chia seeds and fresh cayenne pepper to it. The chia seeds will plump up and the sauce will thicken in about 30 minutes. If you feel inspired, you can get creative with cranberry sauce and try adding ginger, pineapple, cardamom, or black pepper. When you take the tarts out of the refrigerator, it's super easy to pop them out of their shells. Simply use your knife and slide it under the tart as you rotate it, and it will just slide out. It always surprises me how easy it is to make these and how good they look. Preparing your Thanksgiving table should be fun and easy so that you have plenty of time to share with your friends and family. Enjoy every moment and find simple things to be grateful for. If you like the recipes in this video, look for part 2 of my Thanksgiving recipes. And please subscribe to the channel and comment on what makes your Thanksgiving table special.